What happens when royalty walks onto morning television thinking the rules don't apply to them? It only took 37 seconds for Meghan Markle to go from composed duchess to completely unhinged on Good Morning America. And what she said to Sam Champion will leave you absolutely speechless. Before we get into this, make sure you smash that subscribe button right now, because we're pulling back the curtain on royalty's dark side, exposing entitled celebrities and their shocking behavior the cameras never showed you. We've got the raw footage they don't want you to see, and you won't want to miss a single reveal. Drop a comment and let us know what you think about this outrageous behavior, because this one is truly unbelievable. The studio lights were bright that morning at Good Morning America. The energy was high. The crew was buzzing with excitement because they had landed one of the biggest interviews of the year. Meghan Markle was scheduled to appear on the show to discuss her latest philanthropic ventures. Sam Champion, the beloved weatherman who had been filling in as guest host that week, was prepared with his notes, his questions carefully crafted to be respectful yet engaging. Sam Champion has always been known as one of the nicest guys in television. Everyone who works with him says the same thing. He's kind, he's professional, and he treats every guest with dignity and respect. He's interviewed presidents, celebrities, and world leaders, and never once has anyone walked away from an interview with Sam feeling disrespected. That's just who he is, a consummate professional. So when Meghan walked onto that set, Sam stood up like he does for every guest. He extended his hand with a warm smile and said, "Meghan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's wonderful to have you here." Meghan shook his hand, but there was something in her expression, something cold. She sat down in the guest chair and immediately began adjusting her microphone herself, waving away the audio technician who approached to help. The crew exchanged glances. This was already unusual. Sam, ever the professional, ignored the awkward moment and launched into his introduction. "We're here with Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, who has been making headlines with her charity work. Meghan, let's start with your latest project. Can you tell our viewers what you've been working on?" Meghan looked directly into the camera instead of at Sam. "Well, Sam, I think what's really important here is that people understand the level of scrutiny I've been under. Everything I do is analyzed, criticized, picked apart. And I'm here today because I want to set the record straight about a few things." Sam nodded politely. "Of course, and we want to hear your perspective. But first, let's talk about the charity initiative that—" "I'm not finished," Meghan interrupted, her voice sharp. The studio went quiet. You could hear the camera still rolling, but every person in that room felt the shift in energy. Sam, always gracious, simply said, "Please, go ahead." Meghan shifted in her seat, crossing her legs. "You know, Sam, I've done a lot of interviews. I've sat across from the biggest names in journalism, Oprah, Ellen, all of them. And what I've learned is that American media has a real problem with powerful women who speak their minds." Sam kept his composure. "I think that's an important conversation to have. Many women in the public eye have shared similar experiences. Now, about your charity work with, why do you keep trying to change the subject?" Meghan's voice rose slightly. "Is this making you uncomfortable, Sam? Does the truth make you uncomfortable?" The producers in the control room were frantically talking into their headsets. This was not going according to plan. Sam, to his credit, remained calm. "Not at all, Meghan. I'm simply trying to give our viewers the information they tuned in to hear about, which is your philanthropic efforts. That is why you're here today, correct?" "I'm here because your producers begged my team for weeks to get me on this show," Meghan shot back. "So maybe show a little gratitude instead of trying to control the narrative." Sam's expression didn't change, but anyone who knew him could see the slight tightening around his eyes. He was a professional being pushed to his limits. "Meghan, I assure you, we're grateful for your time. Every guest who comes on this show is valued. I'm just trying to do my job and give you a platform to share your message." "Your job?" Meghan laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Your job is to sit there and look pretty and read off a teleprompter, Sam. Let's not pretend this is hard-hitting journalism." The gasps from the crew were audible. Sam Champion had been in broadcasting for decades. He had covered hurricanes, natural disasters, breaking news events. He had earned the respect of everyone in the industry. And here was someone attacking his credibility on live television. Sam took a breath. When he spoke, his voice was steady but firm. "Meghan, I've been in this industry for over 20 years. I take my work very seriously, and I take the trust our viewers place in us very seriously. If you'd like to have a respectful conversation about your projects, I'm here for that, but I won't tolerate disrespect toward myself or this show." Meghan's eyes flashed. "Disrespect? You want to talk about disrespect? Do you have any idea what I've been through? Do you have any concept of what it's like to have the entire world watching your every move, judging everything you do? I can only imagine how difficult that must be, Sam replied gently. And that's exactly why we wanted to give you this platform today, to share your story in your own words. But only if I play by your rules, right? Meghan leaned forward in her chair. Only if I stick to your approved topics. Only if I make you look good. Well, I'm tired of playing that game, Sam. Sam glanced at the producers, then back at Meghan. There are no rules here, except basic respect. That's all I'm asking for. Basic respect? Meghan's voice was getting louder now. Where was the basic respect when your network ran stories about me for months? Where was the basic respect when you people tore apart my family? Meghan, I didn't personally. Don't interrupt me, Meghan snapped. You all do the same thing. You smile to our faces, and then you go back to your little newsrooms and you tear us apart. You write your think pieces. You have your panels. You dissect every outfit, every word, every breath. And then you have the nerve to sit here and lecture me about respect? The tension in the studio was unbearable. Sam, still maintaining his professionalism, said quietly, I understand you're upset, but perhaps we should take a break and regroup. I don't need a break, Meghan said. What I need is for you to do your job properly. What I need is for you to ask me real questions instead of this fluff piece nonsense your producers scripted. Sam set down his note cards. All right, Meghan, what would you like to talk about? What questions do you want me to ask? Meghan seemed caught off guard by this. She blinked. That's not how this works. You're the host. You're supposed to know what to ask. But you just said the questions we prepared aren't good enough, Sam pointed out, his tone still even and calm. So I'm giving you the opportunity to steer this conversation wherever you'd like it to go. There was a long pause. Meghan's face was flushed. You're trying to make me look bad. I'm trying to have a conversation, Sam corrected. That's what interviews are. Conversations. But conversations require both people to participate in good faith. Good faith? Meghan stood up suddenly, her microphone wire pulled tight. You don't know the first thing about good faith. None of you do. You sit here in your comfortable studios with your makeup artists and your wardrobe people and your scripts, and you judge people like me who are actually trying to make a difference in the world. Sam remained seated. Meghan, please sit down. Let's talk about the difference you're making. That's what I've been trying to do. No, I'm done, Meghan said, reaching for her microphone pack. I'm done with this circus. I'm done with people like you pretending to care while you're really just looking for your next viral moment. People like me? Sam's voice had an edge now, just barely. What does that mean exactly? Meghan paused, her hand on the microphone. For a moment, it seemed like she might walk back what she was implying. But instead, she doubled down. It means people who have never had to fight for anything. People who have had everything handed to them. People who couldn't possibly understand what it's like to be scrutinized the way I've been scrutinized. Sam stood up now. Meghan, I'm going to stop you right there. You don't know anything about my life or what I've been through. You don't know what battles I've fought or what obstacles I've overcome. And frankly, it's incredibly presumptuous of you to make those assumptions about anyone. Oh, here we go, Meghan said mockingly. The victim routine. Everyone's a victim now, right? I'm not claiming to be a victim, Sam said firmly. I'm simply saying that you're attacking someone you don't know based on assumptions you're making. And that's not fair, and it's not right. Meghan ripped off her microphone. The pack clattered to the floor. You know what's not fair, Sam? Being invited onto a show under false pretenses, being promised a real conversation, and then being ambushed with softball questions designed to make me look like some charity case who needs your platform. Nobody ambushed you, Sam said, his patience clearly wearing thin. You agreed to come on this show to discuss your charity work. That's what we prepared for. That's what we promoted to our viewers. If you wanted to discuss something else, your team should have communicated that to our producers. My team did communicate it, Meghan shot back. But clearly, nobody here bothered to listen. One of the producers finally stepped onto the set, a woman in her 50s with a headset and a clipboard. Meghan, let's take 5 minutes. And don't talk to me, Meghan said, holding up her hand. I don't answer to you. I don't answer to any of you. The producer looked at Sam, who simply shook his head slightly. The situation was spiraling. Meghan turned back to Sam. You know what your problem is? You think because you have this job, because you're on television every morning, that you're important, that you matter. But you're just a puppet, Sam. You read what they tell you to read. You ask what they tell you to ask. You're nothing without this show. The crew was silent. Every person in that studio knew they were witnessing something unprecedented. Sam Champion, beloved by millions, being verbally attacked by a guest on live television. But Sam didn't rise to the bait. Instead, his voice was quiet, almost sad. Meghan, I'm sorry you feel that way. I genuinely am. But I think it's best if we end this interview now. Thank you for coming. Oh, you're dismissing me now? Meghan's voice was shrill. That's rich. The weatherman is dismissing the Duchess. This is going to make a great headline, isn't it? I'm not dismissing you, Sam said tiredly. I'm recognizing that this isn't productive for either of us, and I'm ending it before it gets worse. Before it gets worse for you, you mean? Meghan said. Before I say something that really damages your precious reputation? Sam looked directly at her. Meghan, you're clearly upset. I don't know if it's about this interview or about something else entirely, but whatever it is, I hope you find some peace with it. I really do. Don't patronize me, Meghan hissed. I'm not, Sam said. I'm being sincere. I can see you're struggling, and I genuinely hope you're okay. This seemed to infuriate Meghan even more. I don't need your concern. I don't need your pity. What I need is for people like you to stay out of my way and let me do what I came here to do. Which is what exactly? Sam asked. Because from where I'm standing, I'm not sure what you came here to do besides attack me in this show. I came here to speak my truth, Meghan said. Then speak it, Sam replied. I'm listening. I've been listening this entire time. But speaking your truth doesn't mean attacking other people. It doesn't mean being disrespectful and cruel to people who are just trying to do their jobs. Meghan grabbed her purse from beside the chair. I should have known this would be a waste of time. American television is all the same. You're all the same. Fake smiles and fake concern, and the moment someone pushes back even a little bit, you crumble. Nobody's crumbling, Sam said. We're just not going to continue an interview where one person is being verbally abusive to the other. Verbally abusive? Meghan repeated incredulously. That's what you're calling this? You have no idea what abuse actually looks like, Sam. Maybe not, Sam conceded. But I know what respect looks like, and what professionalism looks like, and what basic human decency looks like. And this isn't it. Meghan's face was red now. You self-righteous. Meghan, Sam interrupted, his voice sharp for the first time. I think you should leave now, before you say something you'll regret. I won't regret anything, Meghan said. The only regret I have is agreeing to come on this pathetic excuse for a morning show. That's your choice, Sam said. But this interview is over. Security will show you out. Security? Meghan laughed harshly. You're going to have me escorted out? This is unbelievable. What's unbelievable is that I've tried multiple times to de-escalate this situation, and you've refused every single time, Sam said. I've been patient. I've been respectful. I've tried to give you every opportunity to turn this around. But you're determined to make this hostile, and I'm not going to subject myself or my crew to this anymore. 2 security guards appeared at the edge of the set. They looked uncomfortable, clearly not wanting to be part of this situation. Meghan looked at them, then back at Sam. This is how you treat your guests? This is the kind of show you run? This is how we treat people who are disruptive and disrespectful, Sam said calmly. Regardless of who they are or what titles they have, everyone is held to the same standard here. Standard? Meghan scoffed. Your standards are a joke. Nevertheless, there are standards, Sam said. And I'm asking you to leave. Meghan stared at him for a long moment. The entire studio was holding its breath. Then she turned to the security guards. Don't touch me. I'm leaving on my own. She started walking toward the exit, her heels clicking loudly on the studio floor, but she stopped after a few steps and turned back. You know what, Sam? You're going to regret this. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Sam's expression didn't change. I'm dealing with someone who came onto my show and was disrespectful and hostile from the moment she sat down. That's who I'm dealing with. And no, Meghan, I don't regret standing up for myself and my team. We'll see about that, Meghan said darkly. Is that a threat? Sam asked. Meghan smiled, but it wasn't friendly. It's a promise. Then I guess we'll see, Sam said. But right now, I need you to leave. Please. Meghan turned again and walked toward the exit. The security guards followed at a respectful distance. Just before she reached the door, she turned one more time and shouted across the studio. You're all sheep, every single one of you. You're part of the problem. Then she was gone. The heavy studio door closed behind her with a thud that seemed to echo in the sudden silence. Sam stood there for a moment, his shoulders sagging slightly. The adrenaline was clearly leaving his system. He looked at the crew, many of whom had shocked expressions on their faces. Is everyone okay? Sam asked. His first concern was for his team. The producer who had stepped onto the set earlier approached him. Sam, are you okay? Sam nodded slowly. Yeah, I'm okay. That was intense. That was insane, one of the camera operators said. I've never seen anything like that. Sam ran a hand through his hair. I tried. I really tried to make that work. You did more than try, the producer said. You were incredibly professional. She was out of line from the start. Another crew member spoke up. Sam, you handled that perfectly. You kept your cool the entire time. She was looking for a fight, and you didn't give her one. Sam shook his head. I don't understand what happened. Where did that come from? Some people think the rules don't apply to them, the producer said. Some people think their status gives them the right to treat others poorly. Sam looked at the empty chair where Meghan had been sitting. I've interviewed thousands of people, literally thousands, and I've never had someone act like that. That's because you're good at what you do, another producer chimed in. And because most people have basic respect for others. Sam took a deep breath. We need to figure out what we're going to air. How much of that did we get? All of it, the control room director said through the speakers. Every word. Sam closed his eyes for a moment. Okay. Let's take a break. Give me 10 minutes, and then we'll figure out how to handle this. The crew started to disperse, people talking in hushed tones, processing what they'd just witnessed. Sam walked over to his chair and sat down heavily. He looked exhausted. One of the makeup artists brought him a bottle of water. You okay, Sam? He took the water gratefully. Thanks. Yeah, I'm okay. Just, wow, that was something. She was terrible to you, the makeup artist said. Everyone saw it. Don't let her get in your head. Sam smiled weakly. Trying not to. It's just, you always wonder if you could have done something differently. If you could have said something that would have calmed the situation down. There was nothing you could have done, the producer said, sitting down next to him. She came in hot, and she stayed hot. That wasn't about you. That was about her. Sam nodded. I know that logically. It's just, in the moment, you feel responsible somehow. You're not responsible for someone else's behavior, the producer said firmly. You were respectful. You were professional. You tried multiple times to redirect the conversation. She chose to escalate at every turn. The thing that gets me, Sam said quietly, is when she started making it personal. When she started attacking me as a person, not just as a host. That part was hard. Because you're a good person, the producer said. And good people don't understand that level of cruelty. Sam took a sip of water. I feel bad for her, honestly. You feel bad for her? The producer looked incredulous. After what she just did? I do, Sam said. Because that level of anger, that level of hostility, it doesn't come from nowhere. She's clearly dealing with something, and whatever it is, it's eating her up inside. That's very generous of you, the producer said. More generous than she deserves. Sam shrugged. Maybe. But I've been doing this long enough to know that hurt people hurt people. She's hurting about something, and she took it out on me. It doesn't make it okay, but it makes it understandable. You're a better person than I am, the producer said. Sam smiled. I just try to remember that everyone's fighting battles we know nothing about. Even people who are cruel to you on national television? Even them, Sam said. The producer shook her head in amazement. Well, your kindness aside, we need to decide what to do with this footage. Sam nodded. What are the options? We could air the whole thing, the producer said. Show exactly what happened. Let the viewers decide. That feels exploitative, Sam said. Like we're using her breakdown for ratings. Or we could cut it entirely, the producer continued. Say there were technical difficulties and we couldn't complete the interview. That feels dishonest, Sam said. People in the studio saw what happened. It'll get out eventually. So what do you want to do? The producer asked. Sam thought for a moment. I want to be fair. Even to her. Even after everything. We should air enough to show what happened, but not sensationalize it. We should acknowledge that the interview didn't go as planned and leave it at that. You really are too nice for your own good, the producer said. But she was smiling. It's not about being nice, Sam said. It's about being right. And turning this into a circus wouldn't be right. Back in the studio, crew members were still processing what they'd seen. The story would spread quickly through the building and then through the industry. By the end of the day, everyone in television would know what had happened on Good Morning America that morning. But for Sam Champion, sitting in that chair with a bottle of water in his hand, the focus was already shifting to the next segment, the next guest, the next show. Because that's what professionals do. They handle the crisis, they learn from it, and they move forward. He stood up, squared his shoulders, and looked at his team. All right, everyone, We've still got a show to do. Let's get back to work." And just like that, the nightmare interview was over. The cameras would keep rolling. The show would go on, but nobody in that studio would ever forget the morning Meghan Markle walked onto their set and showed them exactly who she was when things didn't go her way. Sam Champion had kept his composure. He had maintained his professionalism. He had stood up for himself and his team without losing his cool or stooping to her level, and in doing so, he had proven exactly why he was one of the most respected names in broadcasting. Some people think their status puts them above basic decency. Some people think their titles give them the right to treat others as beneath them. But in that studio, on that morning, one person showed grace under pressure, and it wasn't the Duchess.